Tears fell, hearts trembled, and in that one moment, the truth Shen Yue had hidden for years finally came to light, all because of Dylan Wang's unexpected confession. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel, your go-to home for the most emotional and heartfelt stories from your favorite Chinese stars. Today's video is one that will pull at your heartstrings, because we're diving deep into the moment that left everyone speechless, Shen Yue breaking down in tears after Dylan Wang's shocking and emotional confession. It's a story filled with nostalgia, love, heartbreak, and everything that made us fall for this duo since Meteor Garden. So, grab your tissues, sit back, and let's uncover what really happened, what Dylan said, why Shen Yue couldn't hold back her tears, and how this emotional moment brought back memories we thought were long buried. When Dylan Wang and Shen Yue first graced our screens in Meteor Garden back in 2018, their chemistry was undeniable. Fans from all over the world fell in love with their on-screen pairing, Dylan as the confident yet tender Dao Mingxi, and Shen Yue as the bright, strong, and lovable Dong Shankai. The show catapulted both of them into instant fame, and from that moment, the Dylan and Shen Yue pairing became one of the most talked about duos in Chinese entertainment. For years, fans have speculated about the true nature of their relationship. Were they just close friends? Or was there something deeper, something the cameras couldn't fully capture? Both stars remained professional, often avoiding any direct confirmation about their personal bond. But no matter how much time passed, the connection between them always felt real. Genuine. Almost too emotional to be just acting. And then came the day that changed everything. During a recent event, one that fans had long anticipated, Dylan Wang made an unexpected confession that no one saw coming. The crowd was lively, the cameras were rolling, and Shen Yue stood beside him, smiling like she always did, that soft, genuine smile that lit up every room. But what happened next would leave her, and everyone watching, in complete shock. Dylan began to speak, his tone softer than usual. Gone was the confident, playful star the public often saw. Instead, he looked almost vulnerable, his eyes glistening, his voice trembling slightly. And then, with a quiet laugh and a heavy sigh, he said something that instantly froze the air around him. He looked at Shen Yue and said, "You were my best scene partner, my biggest challenge, and maybe, the one person who made me feel something real, even when it was just acting." The crowd gasped. Cameras zoomed in. Shen Yue's smile faltered, her eyes widening slightly as if she couldn't quite believe what she had just heard. For a moment, it felt like time had stopped. And then, in the most emotional and raw display of honesty we've seen from her, Shen Yue's eyes filled with tears. She tried to speak, to respond, but no words came. Instead, she simply looked at Dylan, her expression a mix of shock, warmth, and deep emotion. The connection between them in that instant was undeniable, unspoken, yet incredibly powerful. It was as if all the emotions they'd shared on screen years ago had suddenly resurfaced, no longer bound by scripts or cameras. Fans who were present described the moment as pure magic. Others said it felt like a confession years in the making, one that both of them had silently carried all along. As Dylan continued, his words only deepened the emotional weight in the air. He said, "I never got to thank you properly. You taught me how to care, how to listen, and how to be real in front of people. Working with you changed me, and I'll never forget that." At this point, Shen Yue could no longer hold back her tears. Her hands trembled as she tried to wipe them away, but they kept falling, silent, genuine tears that spoke louder than any words could. She wasn't crying because she was sad, she was crying because, for the first time, someone had voiced something she might have secretly felt too. Those who know Shen Yue well know how private she is. She rarely opens up about her emotions, and she almost never discusses her personal life publicly. But in that moment, her reaction said everything. She smiled through her tears and said softly, "You've always known how to make things difficult for me, haven't you?" The audience laughed, but the tenderness in her voice made it clear, this wasn't just banter. This was something deeper. Something sincere. After the event, fans took to social media in a frenzy. Hashtags like #Dylan Wang Confession and #Shen Yue Tears quickly began trending across platforms. Videos of the moment went viral within hours, and fan theories flooded the internet. Some believed Dylan's words were a subtle way of expressing long-held feelings. Others thought it was his way of saying goodbye, perhaps to a chapter in both their lives that they'd never truly closed. Regardless of interpretation, everyone agreed on one thing: the chemistry between Dylan and Shen Yue was as strong as ever, and their emotional honesty was something that could never be faked. Close friends of the two stars later revealed that Dylan and Shen Yue have always shared a mutual respect and understanding that goes far beyond their professional lives. They supported each other through career highs and personal challenges, staying in touch even when they worked on separate projects. And maybe that's what makes their connection so beautiful: it's real, but undefined. It exists in a space between friendship and something more, something that only the two of them truly understand. In interviews following the event, Dylan was asked about his confession. With a shy smile, he replied, "I didn't plan to say that. It just felt right in the moment. Some things, you just have to say before it's too late." Those words struck a chord with fans everywhere. Was he implying that he had missed his chance with Shen Yue? Or was it simply an expression of gratitude to someone who had profoundly impacted his life? Either way, the honesty in his tone was unmistakable. Shen Yue, on the other hand, remained quiet about the incident for a few days. But later, during a small interview, when asked how she felt about Dylan's confession, she smiled softly and said, "Sometimes, the most beautiful things in life are the ones we can't explain. I'm just thankful our paths crossed when they did." That gentle, heartfelt answer only made fans love her even more. It wasn't a confirmation, nor was it a denial. It was simply a statement filled with grace, maturity, and quiet emotion. As the days passed, fans couldn't stop rewatching that emotional moment. Edits, compilations, and fan-made videos flooded YouTube and TikTok, each one highlighting the unspoken bond between Dylan and Shen Yue. It reminded everyone why Meteor Garden had touched so many hearts, because the love story it told was made powerful by the real connection between its stars. And maybe that's what makes their story so special. It's not about whether they're together or not. It's about two people who shared something genuine, something that touched millions, and continued to treat it with honesty, respect, and care even years later. There's something deeply human about watching someone you once worked closely with open their heart so publicly. It takes courage, vulnerability, and emotional maturity, and both Dylan and Shen Yue showed that in abundance. Perhaps Dylan's confession wasn't about rekindling a romance, but about closure, appreciation, and truth. Maybe Shen Yue's tears weren't about heartbreak, but about gratitude, the kind that comes from knowing that your bond with someone truly mattered. Because in the end, the most powerful connections don't always have to end in love stories. Sometimes, they end in memories, the kind that last a lifetime. It was a goodbye, but also a promise. A promise that their story, in whatever form it exists, will always hold a special place in both their hearts, and in the hearts of fans who believed in their magic from the very beginning. And that's the beautiful, emotional story behind Dylan Wang's unexpected confession and Shen Yue's heartfelt reaction. What do you think? Was this a confession of love, or a bittersweet farewell between two souls who shared something unforgettable? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I love reading your theories and feelings about these two. And if you felt the emotion in this story as deeply as we did, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe for more emotional celebrity stories, and turn on the notification bell, so you never miss our next video. Because when it comes to Dylan Wang and Shen Yue, the story might not be over yet.